In sports, playoffs are the main goal for everyone involved. Playoffs award consistency and overall talent. Playoffs give everyone a shot at the championship and the best teams or people involved a spotlight to shine. Playoffs are very entertaining for the viewer and they allow the best of the best to become champions. Well, in everything but NASCAR. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Real Talk Racing. My name is Connor. Today we are going to be talking about the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, and Truck Series playoffs and why I don't really like them, and I think it's time they change them. I'm also going to be talking about how I would change them and all of the changes I would make and how my system would be better than NASCAR's current system. Before this video gets started, I just want to say thank you for the support on the channel lately. It's been crazy, and the reason I haven't been uploading is because I was away on vacation, so I haven't really had time to produce any videos for you guys, but I'm back now, so the content should be coming more regularly. And my final announcement is I do have a Discord server now, so link is in the description if you guys want to join and chat racing with me and any other people who decide to join. So let's just get right into the video. So for this video, we're going to be taking a look at the NASCAR Cup Series. So currently how the playoffs work is there are 16 drivers, so the top 16 in points get in. And there are 4 rounds of the playoffs. There are 3 races in each round. At the end of each round, 4 drivers with the least amount of points are eliminated. So let's look at the pros and cons. It's very entertaining, and you really have to be consistent in each round of the playoffs. This really rewards consistency throughout the playoffs, not the whole season, just throughout the playoffs alone, which could be good or it could be really bad depending on who you are. So it is very entertaining for us at the viewer at home, and you get some crazy scenarios. But what's the real problem with this? First of all, I want to point out the win and you're in system. So remember how I said the top 16 in points are the ones who get into the playoffs? Yeah, well, scratch that. If you win a race and you're in the top 30 in points, then you're automatically locked in the playoffs, and that's created a lot of weird scenarios. Just look back at last season in 2021. Austin Dillon and Matt DiBenedetto could not make the playoffs. They did not make the playoffs last year. But Eric Almirola, who was terrible the entire regular season, who got lucky at a win at New Hampshire, and Michael McDowell, who won on a super speedway, and everyone knew he was not going to be competitive in the playoffs, both took a playoff spot and were eliminated in the first round like everyone expected. Absolutely nobody expected them to do anything in the playoffs at all. NASCAR knew they weren't, but because of the whole win you're in system, it took away 2 spots from guys who really should be in there. I'm 100% positive Matt DiBenedetto and Austin Dillon could have made deeper playoff runs than them. And just look in 2016, Chris Buescher, as a rookie, won a rain-shortened race at Pocono and was automatically gifted a playoff spot, and in the round of 16, he got absolutely annihilated. He did not stand a chance. It's just taking up a playoff spot from someone who doesn't deserve to be in there. So let's look at the current playoff grid. There are only 2 drivers right now in on points. There are 14 different winners. Right now, Blaney and Truex are the only guys in with 4 races left to go. And that is a real problem right now if you're Blaney and Truex, because you know anyone below that cut line can win a race and just take your spot from the playoffs. Now, my biggest problem with this is Martin Truex Jr. right now. That guy, he is on the playoff cut line. He is currently, I believe, 100 points above, but he is 16th on the playoff grid. He is 16th. He is currently 4th in the regular season standings. So you're telling me this guy who has run so consistent all year and so good might not even make the playoffs. The problem with this system is you can be the most consistent driver out there. You can win the regular season points by 1,000 points for all it matters. And if you don't win one race, you can finish second in every single race in the regular season. If you don't win one race, there's a possibility that you don't make the playoffs. Like, how do you win the regular season championship and miss the playoffs? That's a realistic possibility that could happen. That's why this system is so flawed and does not award the best drivers. Just look at Kevin Harvick in 2020. Dude had, I believe, 8 or 9 wins on the season going into the round of 8. and he got eliminated because of 2 or 3 bad races. That doesn't mean that he wasn't a deserving champion. He just had 2 or 3 bad races. Everyone has bad races. In a sport like NASCAR, where stuff is such unpredictable and out of your control, you can get wrecked by anyone, any lap. You can blow a motor anytime. You can blow a tire anytime. stuff is so out of your control. Why are we rewarding those who get lucky sometimes? Like Kevin Harvick in 2020 should have made the championship four, and he should have been the champion. He was the downright best driver all season, and it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even a contest. And the fact that he didn't even make the championship four just makes me sick to my stomach. That's why this system really needs to change, because it doesn't reward who's the best all season. 2021 champion? No, 2021 playoff champion. You're not the champion of 2021. You see what I'm saying here? You can win as many races as you want. You can win 35 races, okay? And then you don't win one race in the championship, and bam, whole season goes up in smoke. So enough of me going on about why I don't like this format. How would I change it? So starting off, I'd keep the exact same format with playoff points and stage points and all that, just because I think it does kind of reward you for being good throughout the entire season. But the one change I would make is I'd get rid of winning you're in. Just the top drivers in points are moving on to the playoffs. No separate regular season and playoff standings. The top drivers are moving on. And speaking of drivers, I'm limiting the field down to 12 because I feel like 16 is too much and it doesn't really make the playoffs as rewarding. It makes missing the playoffs like even more of a big headline. It's like, oh my God, so many people make the playoffs. Like, this guy missed it. I can't believe it. Like, making the playoffs doesn't really feel like a reward like it did a couple, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. So I think that needs to change. Limit it back down to 12 cars and get rid of the win and you're in system. The field is too crowded and it should be harder to get in. Like, it's just not rewarding enough for those drivers who get into playoffs. Back in the day, it used to be a big deal if someone got into playoffs. Now it's like, oh, Denny Hamlin got in the playoffs? Okay, I expected him to, so, okay. Like, it's not a big deal. Next, I would keep playoff points. I would keep all of that because it does reward you throughout the season. So the way it would work is that the better you finish in the standings, you get 10 points, 10 extra points from the person below you. Say you're 12th on the grid. You might just be starting with 10 points, but then the guy in front of you would be starting with 20. So it kind of gives you a little bit of cushion so that first place can't get eliminated within like the first race. Like, that's just not fair at all. So here's my conclusion. I think that the format is very entertaining, but we need to scrap win and you're in. Limit the field down to 12 drivers and keep playoff points and everything else the same. So that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. That is just how I would set up my playoffs format. I'd be really happy if NASCAR were to change to that going forward, but I don't really think they are. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my Discord server in the link in the description. This is Real Talk Racing. I'll catch you guys later.